Everybody, how's everyone doing? Welcome back to the Nikki Clarke Show live here on Instagram. And we were having a chat with the CEO of Malia Indigo. Her name is Josiane Modjom. She's going to be joining us shortly. And for those of you who are joining who've never really experienced the Nikki Clarke Show, it's about transforming lives one story at a time. And we invite people from all walks of life to share their heart stories. So I see Josiane, you're on. So request to join, and then we can add you. All right, let me just see. Great. Chat with Josiane in just a moment. She's just warming up. And we'll talk about the wonderful journey she's had. She's done so many great things. So everyone who's joining me, thank you. Mr. Foodtastic, thank you for joining. You're going to get a wave. And shortly we'll have a chat with Josiane. So I hear her getting set up. I'm not sure if we can see her.
I don't know what is happening, to be honest. It's very
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
I see you. Yay.
Hey.
Hello, bonjour, ma belle. Ça va bien?
Ça va bien.
Ah, très bien. OK. Je suis très heureuse maintenant. OK, je suis très contente.
Moi aussi.
Alors, if it's okay, maybe we'll just have to go and talk a little again about how it started. So, again, félicitations, congratulations on your new baby.
Thank you.
All the many new endeavors. So let's start over again and talk about how it all happened. Tell us about how it happened to becoming the CEO of Malia Indigo Corporation.
Thank you, Nikki. Thank you for having me here this afternoon. It's such a great pleasure to be able to speak about myself and speak about my journey. It's not an easy having been easy at all. It's demanding. It takes a lot of energy, a lot of time, and a lot of money. But because I'm passionate about what I'm doing, I keep going. I just keep going. And as a woman of color, it's not easy. I can tell you straight, it's not easy. But I keep positive. I keep positive, and I have my visions, well set, and hopefully, I will get where I'm trying to reach. So basically, I started in the fashion industry, I believe, like 6 years ago, beside of my accounting career. I'm an accountant for like 15 years now. So even though I was an accountant, I decided to join the fashion industry. I first joined because I wanted to inspire other people who were struggling with their body image. That was the real reason why I started in the fashion industry. Because to me, the best way to show my confidence were, through pictures and images, because I know today, like these days, people are more about pictures and images. So I decided to be a plus size model. Back days, it was something very new. It was something that people didn't know. But I use it to inspire. I use it to motivate other women who were struggling with their body, who were not happy with who they were. And through that experience, I noticed that there was a huge lack of exposure for people like me who were plus size model. There was a huge gap because there was no room for plus size model here in Canada. I couldn't find anything. I even got signed by an agency back days, but each time when I went to a casting, people were like, "What are you doing here? What are you doing here?" And the rejection was very strong. And I decided to bring a change. I was like, no, this is not right. This is not normal, because I'm trying to show to the world that there is not a good body type. Like, there is no standard. We should be able to relate, on TV, on commercials, and on anything. And
Right.
in fashion, we should be able to see people who look like us. So I turned my modeling career to a business because it was so obvious. The gap was so obvious, and I was like, no, there is no way I'm gonna keep doing this just for Instagram and Facebook and posting pictures. I need to bring a change. I need to bring something different.
Right.
And
I'm going
then
to pause right there, Josiane. For those of us who are just joining, thank you so much for joining. And so if you have any questions or if you need any clarification, I just wanted to share that Josiane Modjom is the CEO of Malia Indigo Corp, which is a fashion industry, and she just launched her beautiful jeans line. But what Josiane is talking about is the lack of diversity, of body diversity in modeling. And Josiane is a beautiful woman. She went into the modeling industry, finding a lot of rejection because she was considered too curvy, and anything that is size 10 and up is considered plus size, right? Is that
yeah, that's
correct,
right.
Josiane?
That's right.
So that's what we're talking about today. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just want to give
No
context
problem.
for those who just joined us.
Thank you. Yeah, so I turned my modeling career to a business, and the business was first dedicated to curvy, to plus size. So the very first platform that we built were for plus size people, for people who are working in the fashion industry, but they are curvy. I'm talking about plus size models. uh, and we brought a huge change. Like we fill out the gap. We fill out the gap after we say like 3 years, 3 years of hard work,
Mm-hmm.
and putting ourselves in front of people and say, okay, we are here. We want to be visible. We want to be on catwalk. We want to be on runway. We want to be on commercials and stuff like that. And with the and we also produce the successful Toronto plus size fashion show,
Yeah, that was
and
amazing.
yeah, and the Paris plus size fashion show. And after that, people really, started to take notice. Like they would be like, oh, so there is something going on here.
Mm-hmm. There's a
And
market.
yeah, and even the second edition, I made sure that people in the industry, I'm talking about the fashion industry, not the plus size. I made sure that those decision makers were part of the show. So that was in 2018. So after the show, they were like, "Oh wow, we didn't know it's possible to to look good with this body type and stuff like that." They were actually amazed to see what we are, I mean, how curvy people look on the runway or in the clothes.
Mm-hmm.
So after doing that, it was already there. So we already made a change. And now what was next? We couldn't stay as as a department of the fashion industry. We didn't want to be label. I mean, I'm talking about what was my vision, because
Right.
I didn't want curvy people to be labeled as plus size and always plus size. I want the curvy people to be part of the industry. I want all body types to be represented on the catwalk, on the runway, or wherever. So I rebranded, and so we went from a dedicated plus size to inclusive brand. So now we are inclusive. We welcome all body types. We welcome all genders, all race, you name it. And now, because my goal is to be able to offer garments or clothes for any body types. I recently launched a clothing line, and that is also combined to our platform maliaindigo.com. So the store is also part of maliaindigo.com, and that line, it's an inclusive line that goes from extra small to extra large. We just launched our jeans, our denim jeans, and we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going, hopefully. And I'm excited to see what comes next. So it's been a very exciting journey, even though some days you just like, oh my God, what am I doing? What, but you know,
Know the feeling.
yeah,
What did I sign up for?
yeah,
But it's so much bigger than that, and it's just an incredible movement that you started, because there have been so many obstacles. I mean, I have been through similar experiences. I naturally built in a way that I'm curvy. On
yeah,
the lowest end of my weight, probably a size 10.
yeah,
And that's, at my
yeah.
fittest.
You will never.
And people are still like, well, you'd be prettier if you'd be prettier if you lost another 20. And it's like, who determined to you how I would look or how more attractive I would be because of what you think I should look like? And
Mhm.
another thing is that, Josiane, like, the proportion of the body, the muscle and the fat, mixed in together, that's a natural, that's a natural thing to happen. That's just
Totally.
genetics, combined with, some environment, but it's most of it is genetic,
Yeah,
and it's not necessarily what you see on the outside an indication of your heart health. Heart health is the most important thing.
yeah.
So I've met a lot of athletic people, and you're looking at them, they're not a size 2 or a size 4,
They're
but
not.
they're fit as
They're
a
fit.
fiddle. So there are a lot of there are a lot of there's a lot of stigma still that,
Still,
people like you are trying to break, and just say, no, beautiful comes in every package.
every
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
For sure, totally, totally. It's it's easy to say that because even when you talk with people, they all agree, right? They all agree that beauty come in different shapes and all that. But when it comes to the representation,
Yeah.
making it right, it doesn't happen. When
No.
when it comes to making it real, it doesn't happen. And also, I think even us as a curvy people, we have our own issue. You know what I mean? Sometimes, because I see that a lot these days. Like we complain back days that we didn't have enough choice when it comes to the clothes. But some brands are trying, to bring something for us, but still we don't buy them. We don't consume because we're not confident enough. We're not confident to wear those articles, those garments, which also it's an issue because this is business, right? Like if you put money to produce something, you want people to use it. You want
Sure.
people to buy because
That's the
otherwise
whole
you're
point
gonna
of it.
give up. And that is something I noticed. We battled. We fought to get our space in the fashion industry, but we don't actually. I mean, I'm talking from my own experience as a business. We don't actually buy. We don't consume. We are more into the activism, like to say, oh, we are here, we are here. Yeah, we are here. People are already, companies already notice that we are here, and they already also acknowledge that we are a market, a potential market to them.
Mhm.
But we need to, make the actions so that they produce more for us. If we don't make
Right.
those actions, they will stop producing and we're gonna go back again. I can maybe like I can give you an example, like Maria Indigo, the jeans, the collections, all the
Mhm.
small sizes are already sold out.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
sold out. But the bigger size, and you have no idea of how difficult it is to get the plus size. When I say plus size, like up to size, let's say 26, because people don't know how to cut for us. So when you spend all those money and put that in place and people don't buy, you're just like, what is the point?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a really interesting point. So, we're looking here that you have gone out of your way to create a market, to, provide, a product for a community of people who've been pressuring, so many people, so many companies to have this available, yet they're not.
No, they're
They're
not.
not patronizing you.
No.
In the bigger sizes, that is. So that's an unusual thing. That's very
I think it has something to do with with confidence. It has something like they want to see change, but they're not confident enough to say, okay, I'm gonna wear this now. Like this is like I have been asking this. This is my time to wear this. I'm talking like let's talk about, let's say, a jean with a different cut, not straight cut as they used to. They still like, no, maybe I won't look good on that because I'm too big. So
mhm.
there is something that also need to change on that side, because I watch a lot. I saw a lot of companies who
Mhm.
started to make something, like who started to work for the plus size, and they shut down the department of plus size after like 1 or 2 years. They shut it down. I know also some companies who came from the US here to Canada, and they were like plus size dedicated. They shut down. Like Additional, for example. Additional is a Montreal company. They
Mhm.
are closing. They're closing the stores.
Really, I didn't know that
Yeah,
because
they're
the
closing.
demand is low.
They're closing it. They're like, because it's not it's like, I guess I'm not part of the executive team, but if you are profitable, you don't close.
Of course, of
Yeah,
course.
and
What?
I can, yeah, I can name maybe 2 or 3 businesses who decided to shut down their plus size departments. And it's sad because we went from a very a long way, like to get the plus size part of the fashion industry, and I just don't know why it's like that. It's
It's not backed up by consumers.
yeah,
Interesting. Interesting.
the more activist than consumer.
Okay. Well,
Hmm.
I mean, that's an interesting point, and I think, if I may, because you are a black businesswoman, there's a parallel in that because um, we're talking about providing um, a market here. You're providing jeans, clothing for the plus size community, which is the majority of women in the
Yeah,
world. The
yeah.
average size of a woman is 14, size
Hmm.
14. And I'll even go far as to say that Marilyn Monroe, who in the 50s was considered the most desirable Hollywood star,
Yeah, with
was a
all her
size
curves.
12.
Yeah.
She was a curvy woman. She belonged to that community.
Hmm.
So now that's happening, and you say that business are failing, but even in the black community too, if we're going to go there, and we have we've seen all that we've seen, and we're processing all that we're processing over the last few days. There's still some of that too, where it comes
Yeah,
to actually supporting black businesses.
supporting
Now,
blacks.
so how do you feel about that? What's your comment on that?
The idea is good, and we should not even talk about it. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be a topic. It should be so obvious, but for some reason, it's not obvious, and for some reason, I can't tell exactly why. We lack of support. We lack of support of, I would say, each other. It's not. I won't blame everybody. I would blame also myself, because sometimes I forget that I need to care for my people. But I think it's time to stop talking about it and say,
Yes,
okay, we want to support black business. Last week it was all over the places.
all over.
People were sharing their platforms, sharing their stores and stuff like that. But believe me, nobody is buying. They're not
Did anyone
buying.
buy from you last week?
Um,
Got a couple of sales, maybe?
yeah, I got a couple sales, but not because of that movement, though.
Yes,
Not
from
because
your
I
own
don't believe
marketing.
it's because of that movement. Because if it was really because of that movement, I would have sold out everything last week. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate the campaign. I appreciate what happened last week. It was actually strong. It was strong. But we need to really make actions. We need to stop talking.
Hmm.
Be able to put our card whenever we can, and easily without asking thousands of questions. Why would you come to me and ask me stuff about my business before purchasing? You know what I mean? When you go to those big stores, you don't ask any questions, right? You just go online and you buy. Even though on the website, like on my store, I have details, like details on the products and stuff like that. Someone will always come, I'm talking about my Black fellows. They always want the one-on-one chat before they make the actions, and I understand that, because sometimes you want to connect, but when we talk business, you cannot connect with everybody, right? Because it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of time, and I feel like for us, it's so, like, as a Black person, they're so demanding when it comes to Black-owned businesses. It's not easy. They just don't want to make the purchase right away. Like, they want you to talk. They want you to convince them. So why should we convince them while they easily shop somewhere else without asking any questions? When they go in the stores, they see something they like, they just buy. And it should be like that for Black businesses as well.
So are you saying then there's a little bit more scrutiny when it comes to Black business? And
it's just like, I don't know if it's a mentality. They don't trust you 100%.
Okay.
So they don't trust your business 100% for some reason. I don't know why, but I mean, when it comes to my business, I try to make my business on the standard, like on a good standard. Like, I make sure that it matches the standards, the market standard, the legal standard, and all that. And if you go on my store, you will feel it, you will see it. And even you Google my business, you will see that it's we have some credibility. So I don't expect somebody to question my service, because we are trying to do our best. We still a small business, but we try to provide the best service we can with the resources that we have.
Right. Thank you so much. I have a comment here from Dissociative Diva. Some advice given to me is vote with your dollars, meaning use my money to support and co-create the world with intention. So she just left that comment. Thank you so much.
Yeah. We should get to that.
That's how I try to support local, is what she expanded. Thank you.
Yeah, actually, I have one of our Black sister yesterday who, she went to my store and she said, okay, I'm getting two pair of jeans because I want to support, right? And that was awesome. That was good, and we should all do that. I also have in my inbox few entrepreneurs who message me their stores. I still need to go there, and make the actions, purchase. That's how we should do. But at the same time, we as a Black business, we need to work on the professionalism. You know what I mean? Be professional. You don't want to feel you want to feel the same way as when you shop anywhere. When you shop to the Black businesses, you want to have the same level of service. So that is my comment, that like even my advice to Black businesses, to say, okay, it's not because you're Black that I'm going to buy. You know what I mean? I'm going to buy if I like what I see.
There's a certain standard that you have.
Yes, exactly. So yes, we want to support Black businesses. Yes, we want to put our money in the community, but we also want good services. We don't want to buy just to buy. We want to buy something that is good. So we should work on our excellencies, because if we become excellent, even people from other communities will buy from us. Absolutely. We buy from us, and yeah.
Excellent. How has this pursuit of your passion work, how has that transformed your life?
I became a stronger woman. I would say that when I started, I was not this strong, to be honest. I was just passionate. I was just that young woman, with all the energies and trying to do my thing. But today, I would say I'm stronger. I'm so sure about who I am now through all the experience that I have been through. And it helped me understand also, people in general, not just me. Because dealing with people on a daily basis, you start to know how people are different, and you start to be more understanding.
Right.
So today I'm a grown woman. I feel strong, and yeah, I have learned a lot from that experience. Life it's step by step. Sometimes you think you know, but the next day you realize that no, you didn't know actually.
I didn't know anything. And thank God for growth, right?
Yeah,
And
thank God for growth.
experience,
Thank God for growth. And I still remember when I produced the first edition of Toronto Plus Size Fashion Show.
which was
Believe me,
wonderful.
thank you. The only thing it was just my motivation. I was so passionate, but when I look back, I think it's just the passion who made it work. And I'm thankful for that. It's not that I have a strong production background. No, it was just my first production, but I use my passion, I use my motivation to make it happen. But if I was like about to do it today, I would do it differently. I don't know if it would be better, but I would do it with different type of energy. And I think that is when you already, you learned already, you know how to do it without spending too much energy.
Okay, excellent. Now, how many children do you have now,
Oh, I
Josiane?
have three.
Three. And what are their ages? And what are
My
they doing?
first is 14.
Okay,
Uh, yeah, the second is 8, and I just have a new baby. He is 5 months.
five. Wonderful. So, is it two girls and a boy?
Yeah, 2 girls and 1 boy.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
they must be so proud of everything you've done, and they look up to you. And what are the lessons you want to teach them to prepare them for this world?
My first one, she has learned already. She tells me every day, like, Mom, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
I want to be like you. Oh, Mom is a superstar. She's a superwoman and stuff like that. She always play around. The second one, the 8 years, she just see me, walking. She's like, okay, you walking again or stuff like that. But she's still a baby. She just see how I do different things. I'm active or stuff like that. But the one that already picked it up, it's my first daughter. Yeah, I can see that I'm her like inspiration. She respect me. Sometimes she will come and hug me and say, "Oh, Mom, I really appreciate what you do." Things like that. What I want for her is just to be happy, to have a happier life. When I say happier life, it's not that I didn't have a happy life, but I have to walk more. You know what I mean? I
Oh, I
don't
know.
want her to walk as I walked.
Yes, yes, I
I want
understand.
to make it a little bit easier for her.
I
I don't
understand.
want her, yeah, I don't want her to struggle to get to the university. Um, I don't want her to, to do two jobs in order to survive. I want her to have a much easier life,
Yes,
and I hope I will. I mean, I have been doing it. I hope it will continue.
right.
Yeah, because as an immigrant, I'm a first generation immigrant, so I came here by myself.
Do you mind sharing where you're from? Where your family's from?
No, I don't mind. I was born in Cameroon.
Cameroon. Yes.
Yeah, I was born in Cameroon. It's a bilingual country, but the majority, like, we are French speaker, to be honest. There
Mm-hmm.
is a small part of country that speak English, and on the paper it's bilingual, but people speak French. So I studied in French. I did my whole life in French. Even when I went to France for my university, it was just French. So when I moved here in Canada, imagine I with no English, zero English.
Mm.
It was a big challenge for me. So and I'm thankful that my kids don't have to go through that because it's very, very tough.
Yeah.
You have to work 10 times more than someone else because you have to prove. And your accent is so strong. People are like, what are you saying? Like, we can't hear you. What are you talking about? So
Right.
it requires a strong, like a lot of confidence. And I think I use that confidence to succeed. You know what I mean? Because even when I went to my first job interview, believe me, Nikki, I couldn't say a word in French. I was just in English. I was just talking. I
Mm-hmm.
was doing like a body language with my
Yes.
hands and stuff like
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
And the recruiter at the end of the interview told me, you did well. She said, you did well. I'm like, how did I do?
How did I possibly do well?
Right.
No, and that is amazing, and it reminds me of my own experience when I was coming to Canada as a young age from Jamaica. We moved
Yeah.
to an all-French neighborhood. So your experience is mine, but opposite. So
Oh,
I was
wow.
learning,
Where
I
was
was
that?
the only English child in the neighborhood, and I had to learn French. So I
Wow.
did the whole thing with body language and, you know, qu'est-ce que ça veut dire, and, all that thing so that they could teach me. So I totally get it. I totally
Yeah.
get it. Yeah.
Yeah. But when you are willing to learn, you get there eventually. It's tough, but you do what you have to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to keep too much of your time, Josiane. I know we've had a wonderful conversation. Really appreciate you taking this time to tell us a little bit about your inspirational journey as an entrepreneur.
Thank
Um, Breaking a whole lot of barriers in the fashion world as a plus size model, and then releasing this great entity of plus size fashion. And I really hope everything works out for you. I have to go and make my purchase now. It took me a couple of days, honestly, because there's so many ones that I want. So I'm like, Nikki, make a decision today. And I like to make sure that this is the one that I'm falling in love with. So I'll go and make that purchase now.
thank
So
you for the
please,
support. Thank you for the support.
absolutely, you've got my support from day one.
Thank you. Yeah,
So
I know.
awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk today. And yeah, I wish you the best as well.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So as we round off now, please let everyone know where to reach you. And before you do that, I'm just going to give a shout out to some people who just joined us. Fatimera S. Sali 100, Good Girls, Andre and Nicole, Elementary Naturals, Taj Maria, Official Nellie James, Kia, thanks for joining. Five Nuggets, thank you for joining, and many others. I appreciate it. Silver Bell, Leonard, thank you for joining. Kay Jammy, thanks. Shelly, thank you for joining us. So yes, please tell us how we can go out and support you.
Sure. Our online store is maliaindigo.com/shop. So in the store you have our inclusive line, clothing line. Inclusive means going from extra small to extra large. So visit our store. It's pretty convenient to shop there. So it's maliaindigo.com/shop.
Excellent. All right, you've been watching the Nikki Clarke Show live. And the live is live, y'all. A lot can happen. So thank you for hanging in there with the technical issues, but it all worked out, and we appreciate your beautiful journey, Josiane. So Josiane Modjom, the CEO of Melia Indigo Corporation. Please follow her on social media. And if you're just joining us, you didn't catch the whole interview, not to worry. We're going to play it again on Instagram and also on YouTube. So please like and share and subscribe to the Nikki Clarke Show online. All right. So, Josiane, stay safe, stay strong.
Thank you.
And we're going to get through this together. Okay. All the best.
Thank you, Nikki. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Okay. My pleasure. Take care now. Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining.